Man, what's up? What's happening? You already know who it is and what it is. Your boy Nephew Q. And if it's your first time tuning in, this is Beyond the Game. Appreciate you sticking with us. And
Yes,
we
sir.
got my guy Ralph C in the bill. Go and introduce yourself, man.
What's up, world? Broncos 3-0. Let's go.
Anyways, we done with that mumbo jumbo
It's
bull.
all good.
And then we got this boy here. I'm about to bring him on. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. I really don't want to hear what he got to say, but it is what it is. Go and introduce yourself, bro.
Hey!
Uh oh.
Hey!
Uh
Hey,
oh.
hey, 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 fellas! All right, you know who this is.
I didn't think we
Yeah,
was gonna see him.
yeah, man. Yeah, you know you had to go see old B Legend come through, man, in the
Okay.
clutch.
Okay.
In the
Okay.
clutch. Hey, Q, how you doing today, son? How you
Don't
doing?
talk. Don't talk. Don't talk to me.
That sounds right. Don't you start your stuff.
You doing all right today? Hey,
Don't talk to me right now, man.
okay, all right, all right. I won't. Go ahead, Q. Go
you,
ahead.
I'll let you and Ralph talk to each other. I'm not talking to you today.
You and your feelings.
Huh? Yeah, I'm still in my feelings. So
Let it
let's go.
go.
Let's before we get on to the
Why?
first topic.
Why? What you feeling? There's no need. There's no need.
Uh, let's get
I
right
mean,
on
I
into
mean,
the
Let it go.
what are you? What you skip? You Q Bayless?
Q Bayless.
You Q Bayless? You just thought y'all was going 20-0?
Yep. Yep.
No, I didn't think we was going. I didn't think we was going 20 and 0. I just didn't want to lose to the Rams because of Daniel. We could have lost it. No, let me rephrase
Man,
that.
listen.
We
What
could
I
have lost to anybody except for the Cowboys, Rams, and Eagles. Other than
you
that,
didn't
I'm
want
good.
you didn't want to lose to neither one of my sons.
Well, we already took care of that, so I'm not worried
My
about
sons,
that.
because my sons are better than your
Oh man.
Oh my goodness, so that's what we are. That is what we on today, boy. Hold on. And speaking of that,
but but but,
Andrew,
but let us.
Andrew said you need to get your son Pat under control, boy, acting up.
He
Hey,
knows.
Andrew better chill out. Andrew better chill out. Hey, them Cowboys about to put a thing in y'all tonight.
Dak is
Them
coming.
Cowboys, them Cowboys gonna put a thing in y'all tonight. I'm gonna tell you right now. They're gonna put a thing in you. You going down there to the big. They're gonna put a thing in you tonight, Andrew.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna let you know. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Andrew, you heard it, man, from his mouth. It ain't for me, bro. It ain't for
It's
me.
for
But
me. They're gonna put a
let's
thing
let's
in.
let's talk about yesterday's afternoon. I ain't gonna say key game because the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers had a great game last night as well. But the key afternoon game, which was the Bucs and the Rams, I'm gonna go ahead and give my take on the game. I feel like we came out lethargic, we came out flat. They did like they wasn't ready to play, and they couldn't match the Rams' intensity. I mean, you had Gronk in the first quarter. You know, he had a catchable ball that went right off his fingertips. Jamal Dean had an interception that hit him right in his chest. I mean, they just looked bad all around yesterday. And, it was a trap game. We was looking for the Patriots next week, so we really wasn't worried about this game right here.
Hey, be legend. Pull out the
So
violins, man. Let's
Right.
start. Let's
You
start playing the
dude, you
violins
dude
for
are
him,
killing
man.
me right now. Really?
Is that what
You
happened?
know,
it was a it
hey,
was a trap
but
game for us.
Ralph, it's his floor. Go ahead, Q.
Absolutely.
And that's all. We just looked like we couldn't match their intensity. We was looking forward to the Patriots matchup. It was a trap game for us. Give all the credit to the Rams. They won. Yeah, blah blah blah. Yakety smackety. But anyways, Ralph, go ahead. What's your take on that game yesterday? And make it snappy.
Make it snappy.
Make it snappy.
Matthew Stafford, Cooper Cup. I'm done. Not to mention that Matthew Stafford underthrew Deshaun Jackson twice. And those would have been touchdowns also. Overall, man, I think defensively the they're good, but their secondary is dismantled at this time. Y'all have a lot of key injuries, especially a cornerback right now. I think your front seven is still solid, but overall, y'all played a legit quarterback and a decent team yesterday in the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams may be representing the NFC this year. Matthew Stafford looked really good, and he just made the throws that I expected Matt Stafford to make. That's one of the reasons why the Rams went out and got Matthew Stafford. And that's one of the reasons why the Rams feel like they're Super Bowl contenders this year because of Matthew Stafford. So Overall, the Bucs are still good. The Rams just played a better game. And anytime that the Bucs play a team or a quarterback like Matthew Stafford, the Bucs are in trouble.
So you saying that Dak Prescott ain't a quarterback like Matthew Stafford?
Remember, Dak had y'all beat if it wasn't for his defense giving up the touchdown to Tom Brady again in the final seconds. Dak did the same thing to y'all. Remember, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Don't forget.
In the L. But anyways, be legend. Go ahead, get it off your chest, man. Whatever, man. Go ahead, get your spiel
Well,
on.
listen, man. We talk periodically throughout the day. Via text, we all in there. Look, and I said it, and I'm gonna keep it. Let's not overstep our boundaries right now, okay? It's the same thing that the Chiefs did to the Bucs last year. Stomped a mud hole in them last. And then the Bucs came back and they was ready for the Super Bowl. So I don't put a lot of credence in it. I really don't. And the reason why I really don't is because the Bucs, man, listen, man, you just signed a guy off the street, and he's a cornerback, and you got that guy trying to defend D-Jack and some of these other guys. I mean, it was just a task. I just think they were just overmatched, defensively from, in the defensive back. That's just what I think. The front seven, I mean, it's dominant. Here's the difference in that game. If you just look at the way that the Bucs play, the Bucs are normally used to getting people on and off the field, right? Defensively, they're gonna go out and pressure you, they get you off the field. Their defense is always rested. Well, see, their defense wasn't rested yesterday. So their front seven, they were just, they didn't have effect on the game because they were tired because they were on the field. Devin White, where was he? He was nowhere to be found in that game. None of those guys were anywhere to be found in that game. And a lot of that has to do with rest. A lot of that has to do with the fact that they were just on that field all the time. And the biggest reason, they just don't have the DBs to deal with anybody. You talk about, Dallas, yeah, Dak put 400 yards on it, but for the same reason. Now, you take the Bucs and you give them, a full, the full arsenal of DBs, it's a different ballgame. It's a completely different ballgame. So you just call it what it is. I mean, you're not gonna say I sit here and say that the Bucs ain't gonna compete for the chip. That ain't real. But what I will say is if they don't do nothing to tighten up their defense, I mean their
secondary.
Secondary, it's over. I mean, there's nothing that Tom Brady can do because he ain't gonna be able to carry the load. He just won't. And I think the issue that they had, for some odd reason, I don't know what's going on, but Tampa Bay, they didn't run the ball. They couldn't run the ball. I don't know
they
if
gave up on it.
It's like, I don't know if it's Aaron Donald, but I just think you got to run the ball against those guys. You got to try. And they abandoned the run early in the game, and I think that was it too. So I think those are the biggest factors in this game. But I don't think I don't want to blow the thing out of proportion. I don't think Tampa is in any type of trouble. I still think they're going to the NFC Championship. They're probably going to see my son, but but it'll be all right.
Not gonna happen.
Speaking of teams in trouble, let's talk about Patrick Mahomes right now. The Kansas City Chiefs, they're starting off the season 1-2 on a 2-game losing streak to the Rams and the Chargers, which they just lost to the Chargers yesterday, to 30-24. So I'll get my spill on it first. Are the Chiefs still the AFC favorite? I'm going to say no, because from the beginning of the season, well, before the season started, I had the Browns represent the AFC. So to me, this is par for the course. Did I think the Chiefs will start off 1-2? No, but do I think they're still the favorite to represent the AFC? No. Let me throw out some numbers for you guys real quick. So they're 1-2. As of right now, they're fourth in their division. Right now in the AFC, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams with better records than them right now. That's a long climb right now. And then a lot of talk has been about their defense, right? So I looked up some of their defensive stuff. So right now, the Chiefs scoring defense is last. They give up 31 points a game, which is ranked last in the NFL. That's not good for your NFL, for your Super Bowl type of defense. Then I looked up rushing yards. They give up the second most rushing yards a game, right? The only team that's worse than them is the Chargers. I looked up passing. They give up the 8th most passing yards a game. So right now they don't have the defense to compete for a Super Bowl. And then last but not least, total defense. They rank third last in total defense, meaning they give up the most total yards of any team in the NFL right now. I just don't see them being a Super Bowl contender. Like I said before the season started, I just don't see the Chiefs going to 3 straight Super Bowls. So to me, they don't. They still aren't the favorites. Ralph, go ahead, take it away.
Well, thank you for those numbers, Q. Do I need to say anything else? The question is, are the Chiefs still the AFC favorites? And the answer is absolutely not.
Nope.
I said it before the season. I think there was probably only one person on this panel who probably picked the Chiefs out of the AFC, and he just did that because that's his son, and he has to. I picked the Browns also, but right now the way my Broncos is looking, but that's another story for another day. But like Q alluded to, I think the numbers don't lie. The numbers speak for themselves. The Chiefs could easily be 0-3.
Easily.
0-4 over the past 4 games that they played in. Mahomes is great, but I think the defense, or the hole that the defense is going to put the Chiefs in each game, is not going to be Mahomes won't be good enough to pull them out of that hole. The Chiefs will probably still have a winning record by season's end, but the Chiefs will not represent the AFC. And Legend, I'm sorry that we have to let you know this.
It's too much to overcome, man.
Y'all had y'all run, but it's somebody else's turn. The Chiefs might finish last in the AFC West, and it is what it is, my brother. You have the floor,
I'm just saying,
Legend.
B-Legend, that
You
defense
have the
is
floor,
too much,
Legend.
bro. That's just too much to overcome. And how did y'all fix y'all defense? By signing Josh Gordon. But go ahead, proceed. The floor is yours.
Proceed.
Proceed. The floor is yours. Be the floor is yours.
God. Look, man. Listen. You know how I am. I consider myself to be somewhat objective, not totally, but objective. We've always known this is nothing new. The Chiefs' defense is suspect, has always been suspect. That's just keeping it 100%. Why? Because they try to outscore you, right? Can't remind you of Mike D'Antoni and what was it? The Phoenix Suns?
The Suns, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Suns, but they just want to outscore you. They ain't play no defense. They just want to outscore you. Well, if you pay attention to detail, if you go back to last week when they played Baltimore, what happened? And Baltimore
They
took
lost.
Tyreek. Yeah, they lost. Baltimore took Tyreek Hill out of the game and made everybody beat you. Think about it. Tyreek Hill didn't get any big plays in that game, right? If you go back to the game, to game number 1 this season, Tyreek had, I think it was a 70, 80-yard touchdown. He had a big play. So I think what teams are doing, they're starting to understand what they need to do to beat the Chiefs, all right? Take Tyreek Hill out of the game. Make everybody beat you. And the thing is, that's very difficult. Why? Because you take Tyreek out, you double team him, you stop the run. What does that leave you? That leaves you with Kelsey, and that leaves you with Hardman. Those two ain't gonna beat you. You see what I'm saying? They're not gonna put up enough numbers to beat you, and defensively, they can't stop the ball, so that causes even another issue. Okay, so until the Chiefs figure out how to deal with this whole Tyreek Hill double team and taking them out again, that's going to be a problem. Now, what I will say, as long as he can stay out of the hospital, what's going on with Andy, as long as he stays out of the hospital, I believe that he's got the mindset that he's going to come up with a way to go ahead and get Tyreek back to the game. Now, you both of you two, you all have been completely disrespectful. You all have the audacity to pick. No. Understand what I'm saying? This ain't what I'm coming from a different angle. I'm gonna approach. How in the world, out of all these teams in the AFC, how can you put your money on Baker Mayfield? Y'all should know better than Baker. Now, you know damn well Baker Mayfield is not carrying no Browns to no Super Bowl.
Because I watched the Browns play the Chiefs last year, and the Browns easily could have won that game if it wasn't for a bad call, my brother.
Okay, but Could they have won game 1-2 this year when they played?
Absolutely. If it wasn't for Baker,
And
absolutely.
what did Baker Mayfield do?
What he normally does.
Exactly. And you say that guy is going to take them to the Super Bowl? Come on, man. Y'all could come up with something. I would have read you said the Chargers.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Who had a costly turnover in the fourth quarter of yesterday's Chargers Chiefs game? Ralph, you mind reminding me of who that is?
I don't
Patrick?
know. Honestly, I didn't.
Is his name Patrick?
I heard.
Okay.
I didn't see it, but yeah, he did.
Oh, you didn't see it. Oh. Oh, okay. I know you did.
Hold on, guys. Did I not text you guys and tell you guys I was out asking y'all what was going on because I didn't see it?
Right.
That doesn't change the facts.
No, it doesn't change the fact. I'm just saying. I have no idea. But regardless, if he threw it, that's on him. I'm good with all that. But I think if he it could have been, impersonator.
It was impersonator.
Patrick.
Come on, man.
I mean, it's just like Tom Brady. Tom Brady. They was trying to give him that.
Tom Brady got to do
It just popped in my head when they was trying their best. Not to say, kind of like the Tuck rule when Woodson hit him when he played. They was trying their best, Ralph. Did you see it when he threw that ball and Donald hit him? It was like, oh, let's advance the ball. No. Let's bring that back.
Come on, bro. This is worse. This is worse than y'all bringing LeBron in on every argument, man. Come on, stop.
What's Tom Brady got to do with anything? All I know is Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. That's all I know. If we want to talk about it, go and talk about it.
At the end of the day, and what's going with this is this. So, yes, they are 1-2. I'm not concerned about it. Andy Reid will get the squad back together. We're going to get things ironed out, and we will present the NFC in the Super Bowl. I truly do believe it. Now, the flip side to that, which I know we're going to touch bases on in a little while, but I'm going to touch bases on it now. That over there, the audacity to even remotely think that Teddy Bridgewater is going to lead them to a Super Bowl or to win the AFC. Boy, you got to be. Listen, man. Look, I got to figure out what I would do if that happened. I mean, I don't know.
I can think of some things.
I'm sure you can. I could think of some things too.
That's cool. Okay, we can take that back.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't we play? Hey, wait, play this year?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we're gonna put that thing on, yeah. We're gonna put that thing on. Yeah, we're gonna put that. Don't worry.
Hey, everybody who's tuning in right now, they saying Legend is on something right now.
He is. He's a good father. That's all. He's a good father.
I'm not on anything. I'm not on anything. I'm a supportive fan of the best quarterback in the league.
Who, Tom Brady?
That's what I was about to say. Who?
You talking about Tom Brady, right?
I mean, you go either Aaron Rodgers or Patrick. Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, one of the two.
I got A-Rod like 5th on my list right now.
What does it say? Hey, Ralph, what does that say down there?
I can't read.
My sons are better than you.
Speaking of some of B Legend's favorite players, one of his favorite NBA players, Ben Simmons, is having this ongoing saga with the Philadelphia 76ers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with them. The 76ers players try to meet with him. So with NBA training camp set to kick off this week, I want to get the fellas' opinion on will the 76ers eventually trade Ben Simmons, or is he going to sit there at home and continue to get fined? I'm going to say they have to trade him at this point. And the reason why I say they have to trade him is because the team tried to go out there and meet with him, and he wouldn't even meet with the players. So now you have this cantankerous, weird, going to training camp. He know that the other teammates know that Ben Simmons don't want really fool with them. So it's like, we don't want you here. You don't want to be here. So there's no way they can coexist on the court anymore. So to me, they have to get a trade done because from the top to the bottom, then the players don't even want to be involved with him because they try to go separate things. And he was like, nah, bro, I'm good. They got to trade him at this point, man. Ralph, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, you said it. I mean, it's kind of plain and simple. I think the writing's on the wall right now. Ben Simmons has completely cut ties with the Philadelphia 76ers outside of still being under contract with them. He doesn't want to talk to anybody, whether it be management, whether it be coaches, whether it be players. I really don't know how it got this bad this quickly. He was the one that was playing bad. They're entitled to have an opinion about how bad he was playing. They're entitled to comment on how bad he was playing. I thought that they would be able to fix this if they couldn't get a trade done. But the fact that he just has a refusal to even talk to or communicate with anybody, you have to get rid of him. At least try to get something for him. The asking price that they were asking for at first, being the 76ers, was way too much. They have to lower the asking price and just try to get something of value for Ben Simmons, because at the end of the day, he's going to be a nuisance. He's going to be a curse. He's going to be a cancer that you got to get rid of, man. So I think just go ahead and get rid of him now and move on.
But the thing is, Ralph, is I'm gonna get to William Sweat. He said he'll get traded, but Maury botched this big time, which I want to like. Every team in the NBA knows that you're trying to get rid of him. So why am I going to give you anything close to equal value?
Absolutely.
If I know he don't want to be there,
I just said something of value, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like at this point, they just have to, man. You got to take anything, because teams is like, why am I going to give you a first round pick or some young talent in return when I know he don't even want to be there? Y'all don't want him there. So what? Like, why am I going to give up anything to get this guy?
And I just feel like you don't know what you're getting with Ben Simmons. It's still all potential with him. So
yeah. So Buddy got a low. B Legend, what's your thoughts on the whole Ben Simmons thing? Will he get traded before the season, or is he going to sit at home and get fined?
Well, I think in the big world, you want to get traded. I mean, it's the best thing for the organization. It's probably the best thing for Ben Simmons. But I don't think it's going to happen because Philadelphia, I don't give a damn. I'm not going to give that guy away for pebbles.
no.
It's not going to happen. I mean, first of all, think of the bigger picture with this as well. You got to find a team that's got that, the assets or the ability to take on contract. Dude, you're not going to trade a bunch of, B-minus players or C players. That's just not going to happen. The other thing is, okay, you don't want to play? Fine. Well, I'll go ahead and ask you to start messing with your pocket. I don't care who you are. You ain't giving up $30 million a year. That's not going to happen. So I think, they got to figure it out. They got, kind of like the Aaron Rodgers deal, right? If y'all want to look at it that way, look, man, you just need to come to play. We'll figure out how to trade you, but you're gonna have to come to play. We're going to give you up for nothing. And so then think of it even bigger. Where's he gonna go? Like, they were talking about Sacramento. Well, I mean,
no, it's not an option.
I'm just saying, they were talking about Sacramento. Well, Sacramento got to give up pieces financially to make it work, right? They were talking about Denver. That may be a possibility. He ain't, maybe they can come up with something with the Clippers or something like that, or, some team of their match. But you got to have something. The guys got to have something to give. So financially, you got to make it work, because you can't take one guy and trade one guy for 5 people, and then because they got they got to put it on the floor as well. So
not that guy.
There's a lot of moving pieces that go into this thing in order for them to make it. And I just think at the end of the day, do I think it's a good move? I think it's probably good for both parties to part away. But I think at this point, because of the fact that Daryl Morey made the mistake and then when he could have traded him, and now Simmons basically saying what he did, nobody's going to give you anything for him. So therefore, everybody's stuck. So at the end of the day, Philly needs him. Ben needs the money. Ben needs to try to figure out what he could do to get better so they can go ahead and make the trade. That's the only way I see it happening. But I don't think that man's going to sit out there and get paid $30-40 million. I ain't buying that. I don't care what Rich Paul or anybody say. You ain't giving up $30 million. I don't believe it.
I think it's gonna come to like the first meal that he accumulates. They're gonna be like, all right, bro, yeah, we done sit there a little bit too long, bro. Let's go.
Let's figure
go
this
report,
thing
bro.
out.
let's go ahead and
not
report,
gonna happen.
bro.
I mean, they talk about, oh well, you go to Lake on him. I mean,
The
you know,
hell
you
he
gonna
will.
give
Yeah,
up?
that's a waste.
You want to give up Westbrook for him? Nah, I'm good.
No.
I'd rather stay with Westbrook. Nah,
Absolutely.
I mean, where's he? That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, where's he gonna go? You know, that's the thing. Where's he gonna go to a place that has the pieces to acquire him? That's gonna work under the CBA and that's gonna work under the numbers in order to make it happen. That's a big issue in itself. I mean, could he go to Sacramento like I brought up? Yeah, but Sacramento ain't Sacramento. I wouldn't give up my pieces.
Oh my God! Please.
I would trade him to the Pacers. I think he'd be a good fit on the
Yeah,
Pacers.
he'd be perfect for the Pacers.
Yeah, but they,
sorry,
okay.
Sorry,
Okay, but again, you trade to the Pacers. What are you gonna give up? I mean, what are you gonna get back for? You can't just take any pieces.
Pacers don't have much to give.
They're gonna have to at this point, Chuck. They ain't got no option because Ben Simmons is under
No,
contract.
but they do have an option. QC, that's what everybody fails to realize. And see, and this goes all the way back to LeBron, and I get it. But LeBron goes out and he hours the players. I get it, sense. But now, if this is the case and this happens, you know the elephant in the room. You know what's coming next, right? You know the next is going to do this, right?
Who?
Zion. He's the next guy. Zion. He's the next guy that's going to do the same exact thing. You got to figure, and if he does this, if Ben Simmons does this, when they come up with the next CBA bargaining, the owner's going to come to the door and they're going to basically put all kind of demands out. They're not going to allow to keep going and hold these teams hostage. It's not going to happen. So that's why I'm trying to say somebody's going to have to draw a line in the sand, and that's going to be it. I just don't think Ben Simmons, Philly's not get what they want for him right now. And Ben Simmons ain't taking that type of he ain't gonna lose that type of money. He gonna have to figure it out, and they're gonna have to figure out how he gonna play, and that's it. I mean, you can't give him away for nothing, Q. You just can't.
You can't, but Chuck, man, what other options? Okay, is Ben Simmons really ready to lose $30 million by sitting out because he don't want to play?
Nope.
Is he? Nope.
No, I don't.
So here's my thing.
But he ain't crazy.
Go ahead. He ain't crazy.
And
if I'm Doc Rivers,
I don't think he's crazy enough to lose $30 million just because he just don't want to play for the 76ers.
No, I don't think so either. And if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm gonna go to Joel. I'm to buy his hairs. I'm gonna go to all my guys and say, okay, he don't want to be here. That's fine. We rolling without him. Joel, you need to go out there and be the man you're supposed to be. Go out here. You want to be an MVP? Be an MVP. We just gonna roll with him and let it come out of his. We gonna roll without him. And if we win, we win. We lose, we lose.
Hey,
but we're not gonna damage the franchise because this guy got panties on and he don't want to man up and do what needs to be done.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Andrew said he already said he's ready to sit. If I'm Maury Cool, I'm ready to find your ass until you end up owing me money. But see, that's the thing. Everybody, well, not gonna say everybody, but people will say what they'll do until it's time to do it. Then they realize, man, I shouldn't I'm in over my head right now, bro. So December come, I guarantee Ben Simmons will regret holding out because
absolutely
training camp to December, that's probably at least about $15 million of his salary right there. Man, come on. I don't know if he's willing to do that. As Adam Kent, he said, Q, I think you spilled something nasty on your shirt. Now that's a championship shirt, baby. That's a championship shirt, my guy. Go ahead, B Legend, before we go to the next topic. I thought you was about to say something. My bad.
Can't hear him.
We can't hear you. B, we can't hear you. No, we can't. No, we can't hear you. So until we get B back up in the building, man, we're gonna go on to this next topic real quick. We're gonna talk about Desean Watson and I was gonna say the Indiana Texans, but the Houston Texans. They're holding him out from playing because of the allegations he got going on. Also because of as well the trade rumors and stuff that he wants to get up out of there and things of that nature. So, Ralph, I want to get your thoughts on Desean Watson being held hostage by the Houston Texans and that whole situation. And is it fair that the NFL is allowing the Texans to withhold Watson from playing?
So to start it off, Q, bro, this is one of the most confusing situations that I've witnessed in a long time. It started off Desean Watson no longer wanted to be a Texan, and he wanted the Texans to try to move him. And then we have all of this. Desean Watson is a top 5. If he's playing, Desean Watson is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Easy. If he hasn't been found guilty of anything, I think Desean Watson should easily be playing football right now for the Texans. If they don't want to trade him, I don't know. This is a confusing situation for me. I really don't know how to answer the situation. Is it unfair by the NFL to not step in and do anything and to allow the Texans just to kind of hold him hostage? Absolutely, it's unfair, man. I don't really know the ins and outs of it, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Desean Watson should be playing football at this point until he's found guilty of something. And if he's not found guilty, hopefully that he'll get some type of something for all the time that's been wasted, man.
He's not. That's the thing, is he's not going to – I mean, he's getting paid, but as far as like career-wise, there's nothing they can do to compensate him. And to me, I don't think it's fair that the NFL is allowing this to go on. And this is why I say I don't think it's fair, is because when NFL players – well, first of all, let me back up. NFL teams are always saying they're doing what's in the best interest of the team, whether it's cutting a guy, trading a guy, benching a guy, whatever the case may be, it's always in the best interest of the franchise, right? But when an NFL player wants a contract renegotiation and he's willing to sit out, then it's, he's been a nuisance. It's whatever that word is to the team, and he's causing issues and things in the locker rooms. And they find that player every day that he doesn't show up for sit, like we just talked about the Ben Simmons thing. So it's okay for an NFL team to be like, we don't want you here, we'll pay you to stay. But if a player does what's in the best interest of himself, then it's, we got to fine you because you're hurting the locker room. You're hurting the team thinking about yourself. So I think it's messed up. And not even from the standpoint, like, put the allegation stuff to the side. I'm talking strictly from a football standpoint of how is it that the NFL can say it's okay, Texans, for you guys not to play him right now. We're going through everything else. But if a player doesn't want to play because of a contract, then it's an issue. I don't understand. Like, it's hypocrisy at the highest form for the Texans to be able to do this. Now, I'm sure Desean Watson is fine because he doesn't want to play for the Texans, but it's just crazy that the NFL is allowing them to do this, but yet they hold players accountable when they want to do it. Like, I don't think it's fair. I don't think
one of the most confusing situations that we've seen in a long time, man. Like, honestly.
And my whole thing is with the whole Desean Watson situation is, if you don't want him there, why not just trade him? And you ain't got to worry about the headache. You ain't got to worry about the allegations. You ain't got to worry about the dark cloud over your franchise. Like, just trade him and get whatever you can for the guy, which is going to be hard because, like you said, he's a top 5 quarterback. But to me, this is my logic and thinking. If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm picking up the phone right now.
Absolutely.
What do you want for Desean Watson?
Absolutely.
You got it. The reason why I say that is because if Desean Watson is going to have to wait to play anyways because of the allegations, why not just wait behind Big Ben, because it looked like he's done anyways.
He's been done.
So why not just wait and play and stay behind Big Ben, wait for him to retire or wait for them to let him go, because I think they're done with him after this season. And then you can insert him right on into the game next season. He knows the playbook. He's familiar with the players. He's familiar with the coach. And you hitting the ground running from that point on. So to me, I just think they should just go ahead and get rid of him. Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they should get on the phone, call him. But let me
Pittsburgh, Miami.
Miami's a good destination.
I mean, bro, it's a few options for him out there. I like somebody said in the comments, man, it just seems like he's being blackballed right now, man. I don't understand why, man. All because he didn't want to be a Texan anymore.
And then Williams said Texans are a dumpster fire. They are, man.
They've been that since they gave Bill O'Brien. Is it Bill O'Brien?
Yeah,
All
Bill
that
O'Brien.
power. Yeah, they
Yeah.
gave him all that power. He was the GM/coach, and I mean, he moved. I think one of the biggest things is when he moved DeAndre Hopkins away from the Texans. What they had?
No, even before that, who was the running back he traded? I forgot who the running back was that he traded to the damn Cardinals. I forgot who Duke was. No, it wasn't Duke Johnson was. I forgot. He had just led the Texans in rushing, and then he traded him away the next season. But Adam Kenny said he'd be nice at Chicago until Fields is ready. There's an option.
There's so many options. Chicago had their chance, though. Didn't they pass up on them?
The Chicago's had plenty of chances.
They had their chance.
They've had plenty of chances to pick a lot of good players. But yeah, I just don't understand the whole thing of how the NFL is allowing this to take place. But anyways, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue talking a little NFL, NBA action, and we'll maybe talk about Ralph's Sacramento Kings, maybe a little Teddy Bridgewater action as well.
I got something for y'all. I got something special for y'all, bro.
Oh man, here we go, man. We're going to get back out this commercial. And we back, man. We talking a little NBA action right now with the NBA and their vaccines they got going on. Kyrie Irving has been in the spotlight with this situation. Andrew Wiggins has been in the spotlight with this situation as well. Just to put everybody up on game really, really quick. The league has already laid out COVID-19 guidelines for unvaccinated players, which includes daily testing, mask requirements in team facilities, and mandatory quarantine if they come in contact with somebody who has tested positive. Now, for those who don't know, Andrew Wiggins plays in San Francisco now with the Warriors, of course, and then, of course, New York City have passed vaccination requirements for indoors activities, which includes professional sporting arenas. That means that players competing for the Nets, Knicks, and Warriors must be vaccinated to play in home games. So, Ralph, will this be an issue for NBA title contending teams? Go ahead.
Absolutely, bro. If your best player can't even play at your home games, I mean, it has to be. I feel like this is something that was eventually going to come down. That's going to, they're trying to prevent it as much as possible, and they believe that the vaccine is the best way to try to prevent the COVID-19. I really don't know which way to go with this because I'm not one to mandate any human to do anything that they may not want to do. But I think as far as professional basketball players, you would like to see them maybe go along with the rules and just get the shot or do what it takes to be able to be there for their team. But at the same time, as a man, they have a choice. And if they choose not to want to get the vaccine, that's their choice. So, I feel like this is going to cause a major issue, especially if you have a team like Brooklyn, who a lot of people have playing in the NBA Finals, and Kyrie can't play in Game 6 or Game 7 in the biggest game of the season. So I see this becoming a bigger issue. I hope they find some way to figure it out, but we shall see as the days go.
Man, I'm right there with you on this, Ralph. Like, for everybody who's watching and listening, look, to each its own with the vaccination. Like, everybody's grown. You make your own decisions. You do what you want to do with the joint. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not here to tell somebody what they should or shouldn't do. Would I prefer you to do it? Yeah, sure. But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you're grown. You're gonna make your own decisions and do what you want to do based upon the research, or that I hope the research that you did. But in the event that, I read the report that 90% of the NBA players are vaccinated, which obviously leaves 10% not. Kyrie's probably in that 10% that's not
Absolutely.
vaccinated. So with that being said, it's going to hurt title contenders that rely on key players like Kyrie to, like, James Harden and KD are good enough to get you to the finals.
Yep.
But to win against a potential Los Angeles Lakers team, they're
Need
going to need
everybody.
Kyrie. Like, James Harden and KD's not beating the Lakers. Like, I don't care. But if you add Kyrie to that, then you got something.
They can do it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So let's say for the sake of the argument, just for this topic, Kyrie doesn't go through with the vaccination. That's 41 games he's already missed.
Absolutely, bro.
41 at home, 41 away. So that's 41 he's already not playing. Not to mention he's kind of injury prone. So let's say he gets injured. So Kyrie could potentially only play in the 20 to 30 games this season. You know what I'm saying? And I hope he doesn't get injured, but that's what you're dealing with. And then not only that, if they go play the Golden State Warriors, well, he can't play in that game. That's an away game, but they have a vaccination man. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, Kyrie doesn't go through with the vaccine, and somehow, some way, the Golden State Warriors play the Brooklyn Nets in the NBA Finals.
Crazy,
Kyrie can't
right?
play at all.
Crazy, right?
You know what I'm saying? Kyrie can't play at all. So, Daniel, who's watching right now, shout out and prayers to Daniel for people watching.
Shout out to Daniel, man.
He was dealing with COVID. He's on the way back to recovery. Let me put his comment up here right here. He said, I just don't think you can force somebody to take something when it comes to paying a salary of $1 billion a year. I can definitely require you to take something. I get it from both sides. They can't make the players take it, but what they can do is say, hey, look, this is the ramifications and the consequences if you don't. The decision is yours, but this is what comes with it, and then the choice is up to you ultimately. But I mean, and then Andrew said neither can Wiggins. Wiggins can't play, but I don't see Wiggins being a factor as Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Andrew, as far as like the Wiggins thing. But Andrew Wiggins not playing is like, okay. But we'll Kyrie not playing, which is the reason why they formed the Big Three in Brooklyn. That's a huge loss. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if they can come out the East with just Harden and KD. I mean,
still got the Bucs there, man. Let's not forget about them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He said we're gonna leave Kyrie. Hey, man, I want Kyrie to play. I do. I want Kyrie to play. So when the Lakers beat them in the NBA Finals, there could be no excuses. I don't want to hear we didn't have no Kyrie. I don't want to hear none of that. So I want Kyrie to play. As Daniel says, GOAT. I can't wait to have him back on the
show. We can't talk about Brooklyn without them speaking up.
Before I have to come on and do a Lamar rant. But look, man, Lamar Jackson, he
is what he is.
They barely beat the Lions yesterday, man. And we're not really talking about Lamar Jackson. But anyway, speaking of Lamar Jackson and all of that, we're gonna talk about some Week 4 NFL matchups. So Ralph, kick it away. Who you got as the Week 4 key matchups? Go ahead.
Let's get it. At number 1, I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams. You got 2 of the 5 undefeated teams going against each other. You got NFC West divisional matchup. In my eyes, these are 2 of the teams that will eventually win the NFC West. It will be between the Cardinals and the Rams. I have the Cardinals at this point. And also, this can be one of the teams that represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. So I think this is going to be a really good game against the Cardinals and the Rams. I am going to go with the LA Rams in this game. I like what Matthew Stafford has done this year. I do like what Kyler Murray has done also. But I think Matthew Stafford and the Rams will find a way to pull that one out. My next game is going to be the Monday Night Football game with the the LA Chargers and the Los Angeles Raiders. Again, you got two of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. The Raiders are 3-0. Surprisingly, the Chargers are 2-1, but could easily be 3-0 right now. And if it wasn't for them shooting themselves in the foot with some crazy penalties that have brought back some touchdowns. Again, another divisional matchup. You got the AFC West. One of these teams will finish second in the AFC West, as you have my Broncos, who will probably finish first in the AFC West. I'm probably going to go with the LA Chargers in this game. I think Justin Herbert will find a way to pull it out. My next game, got to go with my Broncos. The Broncos play the Baltimore Ravens. The Broncos are really looking solid, not showing any favoritism, but they are a very, very solid team, both offensively and defensively. They've shown that this year. But this is going to be the first true test for the Broncos, as they have played the New York Giants, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the New York Jets in the first three games, with a combined record of 0-9. So if you want to say they haven't played much competition, I can't argue that based on the record. The Ravens are looking to bounce back. They had a very, very close game with the Lions. I will say that the Ravens barely won that game, but they had some key drops in that game that probably would have allowed them to win that game a lot more easier. Justin Tucker, give all shots out to Justin Tucker hitting that 66-yard field goal, which was an NFL record. But I'm definitely going to go with the Broncos to pull out this game against the Baltimore Ravens. And finally, I'm just going to throw it out there just because I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Bucs and the New England Patriots, all because Tom Brady's going back to Foxborough, the place where he brought 6 Super Bowl rings. Not much to say about this game. I think Tom Brady's going to bounce back off a loss to the LA Rams and have a crazy game and probably blow out the Patriots. A little bit of bad blood between him and Coach Belichick. I don't have much faith in Mac Jones. They look like they're still trying to figure things out in New England. So definitely I got the Tampa Bay Bucs in that game. And those are my week 4 matchups, man.
I like that Tampa Bay matchup, man. So speaking of matchups, let's talk about a little Monday Night Football tonight as well as Thursday Night Football. I'll do the Thursday Night Football matchup really quick because it's 2 trash teams playing against each other. You got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bengals just came off a thrilling victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday. So let me get the Cincinnati Bengals in this matchup. Who you got, Ralph?
Bengals.
Easy. Easy. Light work. So anyways, let's go on to the nice Monday Night Football matchup. You have the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm torn on this because I don't like neither team. I don't like neither fan base. Sorry, Andrew. Just based on what I've seen so far this season, I'm going to go with the Dak Prescott Cowboys in this matchup. I think it'll be a very close, very thrilling matchup. I think both teams have a lot to offer. But yeah, let me get the Dallas Cowboys. If I had to pick a score, let me do 27-24 Cowboys in this matchup. Who you got, Ralph?
I'm like you. I'm torn. I don't hate neither fan base.
I do.
I'm not a Cowboys fan, but y'all know I'm Dak's number 1 fan. I think the Eagles have a really good team this year. They kind of had a stinker last week against the 49ers. I did pick them to win that game, but they weren't able to pull it out. But I'm going with my guy, Dakota Prescott.
I knew it.
I like the Cowboys defense. I think Dak is going to find a way to lead the Cowboys in a win over the Eagles. So I'm going to go with easily 28-24.
Okay, so you got a close ball game as well. But anyways, to wrap up today's show, let's go through some BTG quick hitters. So before I do that, let me see what Andrew. Okay, Adam Kent. He said he got the Eagles winning tonight. Adam, don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. Don't let Andrew influence you, man. Don't let Drew influence you. He got losing a close one, 35-28. So he got a high scoring ball game. Andrew fly, Eagles fly. This guy, this guy. Hey, he's loyal to the soil. I'll give him that though. But anyways, beyond the game, quick hitters. The New England Patriots released Cam Newton right before the season started, and as they decided to go with rookie Mac Jones to start at quarterback, they are now on the season 1-2. So, Ralph, did the Patriots make the right decision in not only just releasing Cam Newton, but starting Mac Jones?
Yeah, I think that they, even with Cam, I don't think that overall the New England's final record is going to be much better than what it's going to be with Mac Jones. I feel like they have more opportunity as far as throwing the ball down the field, throwing the ball accurately with Mac Jones. So I think they made the right choice. I mean, he's still a rookie. Us as fans, we have high expectations, and sometimes we don't want to kind of let things play out. He hasn't looked the best through the first 3 games of the season, but let's not forget he's still a rookie. He's still learning. I think New England will be all right, and I think they made the right choice. Cam just is not the same. He hasn't been the same for a while.
No.
Go Mac Jones.
Go Mac Jones. Nah, man, I can't ride with this one, man. I feel like the Bill Belichick Patriots definitely made a mistake. I feel like he definitely jumped the gun too quick on Mac Jones. And I get it. Like if you're gonna have Cam Newton play backup role, you have to release him because of everything that comes with Cam Newton. And if Mac Jones struggles like he's doing right now, everybody's going to be screaming, "Put in Cam Newton! Put in Cam Newton!" But I feel like they lost to the Dolphins. They won it against the Jets, which everybody's probably going to beat the Jets this year. And then they lost to the Saints, and then they played, like you said, the Bucs, and then that's probably going to be another L for them. Then they go to the Texans. Maybe that's a winnable game. Then they go to Cowboys. That's the loss. They play the Jets, which will be another win. Chargers, Panthers, lost. Like this is my whole take. Why did you go out and spend all of this money in free agency to put together a team that will be a playoff contending team only to put a rookie behind them? You see what I'm saying? Like that made no sense to me. You got these tight ends that you spent money on. You spend money on the defensive side to put yourself in the best possible position to make the playoffs. And then you say, nah, we don't want to go with a proven guy. We want to go with this rookie who right now isn't doing the best. So to me, I feel like they did make a mistake and not only letting Mac Jones take the reins, but just, letting, my guy, Chris Jones's guy, Scam Newton, go.
I'm a Cam fan, bro, but a lot of those throws in preseason, bro, he just looked like he could not complete more than a 5-yard pass.
What's the difference? I mean, what's the difference between him and Mac Jones right now?
Mac Jones can get the ball down the field, but I think we're putting more on these pieces that they so-called went out and got. I mean, you got Jonnu Smith, you got Henry, the tight end. I mean, these are okay players. I mean, these aren't top-tier players. You got Kendrick Bourne at receiver. I mean, let's be serious.
Go out and spend that money to try to put yourself but then you start a rookie.
At least give yourself a chance to have some pieces around Cam or whoever quarterback is going to be there. I mean, we seen the weapons they had last year. I mean, Cam didn't really have anybody to throw to, so they try to give him something or whoever was going to be quarterback something to throw to. But I just feel like we're putting more into these pieces that they acquired. They're not really those guys like that. So give Mac Jones a little bit more time. I think he's going to find a way to figure things out. So.
Yeah, next season. But anyway, speaking of guys who need to figure things out, I'm about to play this clip. And is it time for this team to cut ties with this guy right here? Lord have mercy.
Goodness gracious.
Lord have mercy. Out there? Boy, I tell you, boy, that turf monster, it'll come up there and grab you every time. It'll grab you every time. Ralph, is it time for the Steelers to cut ties with Big Ben?
Bro, we make all these jokes, Auntie Cam, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about Uncle Big Ben. Bro, Big Ben has been done. Ben has the ability to go outside in the backyard and throw the ball as far as you would like. Will the ball land somewhere accurate? We don't know. But for some reason, Big Ben, that's all he wants to do is throw the long ball, man. I think the Steelers are a very mediocre offense with Big Ben at the starting quarterback. They should have got rid of him maybe 2, maybe 3 years ago, but for some reason, they have faith in this man and they keep wanting to go with him, but the ties should have been cut a long time ago. Please, Steelers. I'm not a Steelers fan, but move on. Y'all deserve more. Y'all deserve more.
It's a done deal. It's a wrap. I'm gonna throw some names out there to you, right? Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Tom Brady.
Yes, sir.
Hell, even Aaron Rodgers 2 seasons ago. These are all quarterbacks who are great, all-time great quarterbacks that teams have eventually moved on from. You know what I'm saying? The Green Bay Packers try to, get rid of Aaron Rodgers 2 seasons ago by not only drafting a quarterback, trading up into the first round to get a quarterback. Like at some point in time, Pittsburgh, you got to understand my franchise quarterback is no longer my franchise quarterback, and you've got to move on. And like Ralph said, cut ties. You should have done this 2-3 years ago, prepping for this moment right now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So now they're going to get rid of Big Ben, which I think will be at the end of the season, and then you're going to get what do you have?
Ben will be hurt before the season's over, though. That's what's crazy.
Well, did you see in the game yesterday where he was like his elbow was hurting him again?
So it's always something, man.
I'm like, it's a wrap. So yeah, it's been time for the Steelers to cut ties with Big Ben. Like I said, Joe Montana, got traded from the 49ers to the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Brett Favre went from the Packers to the Jets.
The Vikings, the Jets.
Like Tom Brady went from the Patriots to Tampa Bay. Like it.
Still take Tom Brady out, bro. He's 44-year-old still kicking. So take him out.
He did it, but the point is that Bill Belichick thought he didn't have anything left. So he was like, it's time for me to let you go.
That's true.
Man, they gotta let my dude. It's time for my dude to go.
Bro, you didn't even show the worst play. I watched that game yesterday. There was one where he did like a 5-yard run, and I feel like it took him like 10 minutes, man, to make 5 yards.
I know what you're talking about. It's like that run 10 years ago, Big Ben was getting at least 12 yards on that run.
Absolutely, bro.
Yesterday, his legs
they weren't moving, bro.
His legs was going fast, but in reality, them bad boys was just moving right along
like a turtle, bro.
Like, nah, bro, let that go. So really quick, two quick hitters before we get out of here. Justin Fields is struggling right now. So should the Bears bring in a vet QB or continue to start Justin Fields? Ralph, go ahead.
Kind of my same argument I kind of just said with Mac Jones. He's a rookie. Give him some time. I think Justin Fields will be fine. He didn't look his best. The Browns do have a decent defense, so he did struggle against them, but I think he'll be all right.
At this point, it's the Bears. Man, just start the boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the Bears. Yeah. I get it. Like, Justin Fields, he played horrible his yesterday's game. If you bring in a vet, like, say, for instance, you bring in Cam Newton. Maybe
don't do it.
I say, you know what? F that. Bring in Cam Newton. Let Cam Newton teach Justin Fields because Justin Fields could be a Cam Newton type of player. So let Cam Newton tutor and mentor Justin Fields to let him know what he should be doing because they're going to have similar type of styles as far
What's he going to teach him? What, he going to give him fashion tips?
Well, I'm saying Cam Newton was the MVP at one point in time, right?
Bro, 7 years ago.
I'm just saying, but he did it, right? So he can show Justin Fields, hey, this is how it's done, my guy. And then you can wear the hats. And then you can wear the hats, my guy. Anyways, man, let's talk. Speaking of the Cowboys and their matchup tonight, you got Lael Collins, which is the Cowboys starting offensive lineman. There are reports that he tried to bribe the drug test collector so he wouldn't show up positive, which he's been suspended for 5 games already. So should the NFL go back and revisit this and extend his suspension or just leave it alone?
Oh, hey, man. You got to do what you got to do out here, man. And hey, obviously he didn't offer enough money because, you know what I'm saying, he could have got it wiped away. But I think you should leave it alone, man. It is what it is. When did this happen? Recently?
I guess, well, right before the season started is when he tested positive.
Yeah, it's too late, man. He's already played in the game this season. I mean, we can go back and
no, he ain't played yet. It's 5 games. He's suspended.
But he played the first game of the season. Didn't he play against y'all? I could have sworn he played in that game.
I was gonna say I don't remember him playing, but go ahead though.
Yeah, I could have sworn he played the first game, and then that's when they brought up that information, and he had to sit out the next 2. But
you know what? You're right.
But like with him already playing, I think just let him do whatever little suspension, the 5 games, and let him come back. I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna beat him up over
I am.
whatever it was. You know what I'm
am.
saying? Especially if it was marijuana, I'm definitely not gonna beat him up.
Well, if it was marijuana, that's a different thing. You know, I can see. But if it was any kind of hard drug or anything like that you put, or any performance enhancing drug,
yeah, that's different.
Go back, revisit it, tack on 5 more games. We got to make an example out of it. We can't have these NFL players out here trying to bribe the drug. First of all, like Ralph said, you must have been paying them chicken feed because
exactly
the whoever it was like, nah, bro, that ain't enough change.
That ain't enough.
Now if you gonna do this, you need to come up at your pockets like $100,000 or something like that. Like, hey, look, you got kids. I put your kids through college if you let this thing go negative. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, because now I feel like they do. Our jokes aside, they do have to make an example out of him to let the players know, like, we won't tolerate any kind of bribery of any kind on any type of level. So you got to set an example. So I think the NFL should revisit this. Maybe not tack on 5 more games, but maybe 3 more to set an example. Like, we won't tolerate this because now players are going to try to bribe these people and feel like, well, nothing's going to happen to me anyways. So why not?
Did you say players are now going to start bribing people?
Well, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
If players get caught,
absolutely. I was about to say that's
when the player gets caught, and you know what? That's probably why he got caught because he didn't offer enough money. That's
all it is.
That's probably why he got caught to begin with. He probably tried to offer like $200-$300. Like, nah, bro.
Bro, you know how many players have probably failed tests that have had to dish out some extra change just to keep things quiet.
You're
bro,
right.
That's the name of the game, bro.
You're right. You know what? Now that I think about it, it shouldn't even be on the player. It should be on the owner to go to the whoever and be like, hey, look, you make this go away. I got season tickets for you. 50-yard line, front row. Make it go away.
Come on, Jerry Jones. Do what you do. This ain't your first time, Jerry. This ain't your first time.
Jerry Jones, I'm pretty sure he has gotten Michael Irvin out of way worse jams than this. Like, yeah, Jerry, this was on you, Jerry.
Absolutely.
You slipping, Jerry. But anyways, man, we appreciate everybody who tuned into tonight's show. As always, you can go back and check it if you just now tuning in on the YouTube channel, or go download the Beyond the Game app on Amazon Fire Stick. Go back and check the show on there. If you ain't got time to sit down and watch the show, you can listen to the show on all major podcast streaming platforms. So check us out on there as well. But as always, before we get out of here, let me check these comments. Andrew said, they said the dude who did the test is an Eagle fan. I wouldn't doubt.
He said, no, your ass is going down.
You going down one way or another, bro. You ain't playing. But anyways, we great getting up out of here. And as always, we want somebody to treat somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama. And we up at this thing, man. Peace.